Moment of silence for the champions, for those who make going hard a lifestyle. Never wait for nothing, gotta get it right now. I'm in the spotlight when they turn the lights down. Only a champ swing the hardest in the 12th round. I love the fourth quarter, I love the ninth inning, I love game 7. Bring on the competition, cause in my heart, yeah, nobody do it better. Can't slow me down, won't stop me, never. I'm so Cassius Clay, I'm Tyson in his prime.
All he does is proving that there's nobody that can stop him
last,
except himself.
The last game, he didn't score. He only scored 2 points in the fourth quarter. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. He's not always going to be there. So someone else needs to, you know what I'm saying, has to help him out in certain situations. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Karl-Anthony Towns is playing bad. I'm saying he needs to step up more. That's all I'm saying.
But if Bridges and Anunoby step up, then what do you need Cat for?
But he needed Cat tonight, and Cat didn't step up.
He didn't need Cat tonight because he had Anunoby and Bridges.
Bro, the only reason they won this game is because Jalen Brunson won this game at the end. And because the Pistons executed terribly.
And
at
how
the
many?
end of the game.
And that's
the game was up. They were up 7 points.
And you think that's the only game of the series that happened like that? Every single game we won like that. That's how it happened against the Pistons.
And who made the shot?
Jalen Brunson.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's going to continue. It's not going to
It's
stop.
got to be somebody else.
It cannot be
it
nobody
has to
else.
be
If you're
somebody
the
else.
clutch player of the year, then how are you going to give it to somebody else?
It has to be somebody else at one point is all I'm saying. I'm not saying
Bro,
that
last
he's not
year-
the most clutch.
last year-
I'm saying sometimes he's going to get clamped.
But
It happens.
you stop repeating yourself. Listen, last year DiVincenzo made some big shots. Anunoby made some big shots. Sometimes they do too.
No, I know Anunoby does. I haven't seen it from Karl. I only seen it one game from Karl, and that's the one I told you. The one where he had 27.
No.
Now, he had some really big threes.
What about the 31 one?
Well, no, because they was cruising. They was all going.
We were losing by 8 points with 2 minutes left. He's the reason we won that game. What are you
So
talking
then it
about?
was the other one then I'm talking about the other one then. The 27. Then it was the 31 then. My bad.
Yeah, no, Karl-Anthony Towns did show up when we needed to, and this game he didn't show up. But Brunson and Bridges and like I said, we have the best starting five other than Boston. It's just that we have nothing left.
All I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is, he's gonna need that help. That's all I'm saying. For this series coming up, he's gonna need that help.
But that's not going to be the reason why we lose. Is because he didn't show up. It's because we don't have a bench. That's exactly what I've been saying all year long with the Knicks. That's exactly what I've been saying with the Lakers, and have I been proven right?
I understand that is the skill of the New York Knicks, but if let's say in this series, if he averages 20, that's not enough.
Against a good defensive team, it just might be.
All right.
You see what I'm saying? Against a great defensive team, it just might be. Because you're not going to expect people because you even said that the Detroit Pistons are one of the top defensive teams in the league. So it makes sense that some people are going to struggle against them. Even Jalen Brunson struggled.
No, I understand that, but this wasn't a struggle. This was a non-aggressive game from him.
Well, I couldn't watch the game, so I can't tell you that it was aggressive or not. But all I'm trying to tell you is that we can depend on just Jalen Brunson because that's all we've been doing for the last 4 years.
I think he only took like 12 field goals.
Yeah. But he wasn't having it. He was 4 of 12, and he was 1 of 4 from the three-point line.
Nah, he didn't shoot 3. 0 for 1.
0 for 1? Okay. So that was last game. He was 1 of 4. So if his shot isn't falling, he ain't going to shoot that much. Meanwhile, if these guys' shots is falling, because the thing with the Knicks is, in every game we won this series, we were down in the last 20 minutes, and we came back and won every single game.
Yeah, because of that nigga you got.
Yeah.
It's because of Brunson.
Correct, but I've always told you that. He's the clutch player of the year. I even put it on the thing. When we made our predictions for
But there's going to be a moment when he's going to pass it out to Karl, and he's going to have to knock it down.
And Karl has proven to do that. And so has Bridges, and so has Anunoby, and so has DiVincenzo, which is why I always mention why I wish I still had him.
I think it was was it last year with the Timberwolves when he needed to knock something down, he was non-existent. That's all I'm saying. Just can't have it. Can't have it.
Yeah, but you know who was more non-existent?
Who?
Julius Randle. And I love the guy. He was way more non-existent than Cat is.
But even though he was non-existent with you guys, he was non-existent with Minnesota.
Because that's what I was just saying. It's easier to play in Minnesota than it is to play in New York City.
Yeah, but
It just showed that just proved it right now.
But-
That just literally proves it. The fact that Julius Randle can play like this with Minnesota, but when he plays in New York, he can't do none of that. Not one game has he done like he looked like what he did against the Lakers. Not one with us. Not one. Not against the Heat. Not against the Cavs. Not against nobody. Not against the Pacers last year. Nobody. So believe me, this is still an upgrade. It's just that back then we had a bench. We don't have a bench this year. That's my scaring point.
I wouldn't say. I'm not gonna say it's an upgrade. I just say they're pretty much the same player.
No, it's an upgrade. It's an upgrade. He could do way more than Julius Randle can around the rim, and he's a better shooter than Julius Randle. The only thing is that Julius Randle, to me, was more of a dog. The problem is that for some reason or another, he didn't show up in New York in the playoffs. He just didn't. He averaged like 16, 17 points. We already been looked this up.
Because we can definitely say that he was more aggressive.
Yeah, because he's more of a dog. Cat's a cat. I always said it. I'm never gonna love Cat. I just don't have to hate him. I just don't have to hate him. That's all I ever said.
Finish him.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Pressure Podcast. Sorry we're late. I had a late delay at work, and we're closing out the Nuggets and Clippers game, which is a pretty interesting series. Since in one hand, we have a team with a new coach who just fired their coach 6 games left of the playoffs, and who have home court advantage at the moment.
Yes, sir.
On the other hand, we have a team that just won't stop fighting. However, for some reason or another, they don't show up as good in Denver. So we will get to them later. Let's get to the headlines right here. The intro. Without further ado, we are live in our studio in Orlando, Florida. It's your boy King Cole.
LeBron.
Give me a hell yeah.
Rated M for millennials, baby. It's Throwdown Thursday. Lakers in 5, everybody. Lakers in 5. Let's give a round of applause to the Los Angeles Lakers and all their glazing fans. The Los Angeles
Oh, my bad. This
Glazers.
ain't the Lakers. My bad. This ain't
The Los Angeles Glazers. Lakers in 5. That's all we kept hearing since they got Luka. Lakers in 5. Lakers in 5. Lakers in
the
Celtics.
Lakers.
Lakers in the NBA 5.
The Fakers.
Wah, 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 wah.
Fatality.
It was pathetic, is what it was. These guys could not muster up more than one win. LeBron James, a grand total of 4 points in the last 4. I repeat, 4 points in the last 4 fourth quarters. And he played almost every minute. JJ Redick didn't go to the bench in the waning minutes of the game, especially not in the fourth quarter. He even, before the game started yesterday, they were giving him they asked him in a press conference question. They said, hey, are you going to lean to your assistants, put your assistant coaches to gauge your team's energy level and maybe make some substitutions? To which JJ Redick was like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, most teams, you know what I'm saying, most coaches will lean to an assistant when it comes to those. Like,
He says I do.
you don't think I do that already? You don't think I do? He's like, most coaches do. So do I. As do I. That was stupid for you to assume. He was that heated. He couldn't take a question like that because he knew what was on stake. He knew that this is do or die. And LeBron, where were you? LeBron was nowhere to be found.
Was that 3 points in the fourth quarter?
4.
So
And
he
4.
had that 3 in the corner and a free throw?
And a free
That's
throw.
it?
And he missed the other free throw.
Of course he missed the other free throw. That's LeBron James.
And 2 turnovers 2 games ago and 1 turnover yesterday.
So my takes in this series were that they had Gobert looking like Zion Williamson in the last game.
Nah, they had him looking like prime Shaq over there.
I don't want to say that. That's too much. I just feel like Shaq was on a whole other level.
Yeah, that's how Shaq was, though. That's how Shaq was. What you saw yesterday, him dunking on everybody, just putbacks and all that kind of shit. They couldn't stop him. That was literally.
I've never seen
Rudy Gobert look like
I've ever
that.
seen Rudy Gobert not ever fumble. Like, I didn't see him fumble the ball not once. Did you see him fumble the ball at least once?
No.
I swear, I've never seen Rudy Gobert look non-goofy in my life. Like, just watching, out of all the years I've been watching Rudy Gobert play, that's the best I've ever seen him look. And then my other take is Reeves only had 12 points per game in this series. That wasn't going to get it done because he was the third option. They don't have a bench. and they were out rebounded 54-37.
What did Austin Reeves?
Most of the series, that was another take I had. Like most of the rebounding games, most of the games, they were out rebounding them, and then in the fourth quarter they were outplaying them.
What did Austin Reeves
12 points a game
in the playoffs?
in that series, yep. Which was the first series, the playoffs, pretty much.
12 points per game.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like he had more than that.
12 points a game, brother. And that's not going to get it done. That's definitely not going to get it done.
How do you have 12? He had 16, 16, 20, 17, 12.
I don't know.
16 points per game is what he averaged.
That's what they... Either way, it was bad.
16 points per game.
It's not enough. It's not enough. He needed at least 20. It was like...
He averaged near 20. He averaged 20.2 in the regular season, and he dropped 4 points in the playoffs. Okay.
For example, in that Golden State series last year, he was going off. That's what they needed him to do. That was the only way they was going to win this series.
Luka had 37, 31, 17, 38, 28.
I think he averaged 30, if I'm not mistaken.
And let's look at LeBron James.
LeBron averaged like 24, 20.
He had 19, 21, 38, 27, 22. So basically, it was the big three. It was Reeves, it was LeBron, and it was Luka Doncic doing most of the work, and then nothing after that.
But that wasn't a great LeBron. It's an old LeBron. You could just tell he just doesn't move the same. He can't move the same. It's hard. You're playing 82 games during the season. He's 40 years old, and then he's got to go into a playoff series with a bunch of young legs on the other side of the court. I never liked the matchup. I'm glad you brought it up to me, and I was able to fix my prediction. Because Minnesota, they just took care of business. That was easy work.
I mean, the thing about it is, though, I think LeBron playing like this was not the problem. The problem is that they have nothing around them.
I don't think he played.
They don't have nothing around them. If they had like a bench and a supporting cast, the LeBron those stat lines that I just read off of LeBron would have been enough to make it a series, especially with Luka. And the thing is that Austin Reeves, I knew he was going to show up the same way. He wasn't going to average 20 points per game, but I knew he was going to show up in LA at least, and he did.
I don't think he played bad, but what I'm saying is I feel like there's a level that LeBron could tap into sometimes, and it just seemed like
he can't do that no more.
Couldn't do that anymore.
He can't do that no more.
That's what I mean.
But the thing about it is, though,
like even when it wasn't enough on the bench, he still was LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? So that was my take on that right there with LeBron.
The thing about it mostly is, to me, though, this didn't tell me that LeBron is washed.
No, not
I kind of already knew that. I think
old.
LeBron is washed.
Just old.
But what it did tell me is that LeBron is not on that guy's level. Don't tell me that he's the GOAT. He's the greatest athlete of all time. You could say that, but he's not the greatest basketball player of all time.
What is the last two games in the fourth quarter? 5 points?
Finish him.
Was it 5?
No, he had 4 points in the last 3 fourth quarters combined.
Jeez.
He played every minute of those last 3 fourth quarters. 4 points in the last.
Oh, he had 0 in the last game, right?
The last 2. Remember, before we did this,
Jesus.
we still have it here.
Yeah. There it is. Yep.
3 and 4 was 0. So the 4 that he had yesterday. So that's 4 points in 3 fourth quarters combined. That looks like, and this is nothing new. You could say he's 40 years old, but where was the 40-year-old excuse when he was back when he was 20-something against Orlando, and it was supposed to be Kobe versus LeBron in the NBA Finals. Okay, check it.
Be cool, nigga.
And he let us down. He let us completely down. This man just disappeared in the fourth quarter. I don't know what happened in one of those games against. In the next season, he did the same thing against the Boston Celtics before he left to Miami. In one of those games, for some reason or another, he only had like 6 field goals. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I've never seen that kind of LeBron ever life. Then the next year after that, against the Mavericks, when he went to the Heat, all the way to the NBA Finals, he was doing fine. And then when the NBA Finals come out the fourth quarter, he turns into Bronny James.
I smell pussy. Is that you, John?
Because it's just what it is. He's not the GOAT. He's the greatest athlete of all time, so you can say he's a GOAT there, but he's not the GOAT in the NBA. He cannot shoot.
And my thing is, if you give him praise for being 40 years old and averaging whatever he averaged during the season, which was like 26, then if he plays bad, doing not bad, but not to that type of equivalent in the playoffs, then I feel like it's okay to be like, hey, he's old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
See, Michael Jordan. There's one stat line that I'll give you guys. Michael Jordan was once the MVP. He was once the All-Star MVP. He was once all in the same season. He was once the slam dunk champion. He was also Defensive Player of the Year, and he was also All NBA First Team and All NBA First Defensive Team. Okay, only this is in the entire history of the NBA. This has only happened 4 times, and guess what name rings in all 4 times? Jordan, 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 Jordan. LeBron is listen. LeBron is great. LeBron is the greatest athlete of all time. No one had to put the pressure that he had to go through straight out of college, all the expectations, and he not only lived up to it, he surpassed it, and not only that, to me, he delivered what he was born to do. The good Lord created LeBron in some lab up there in heaven and put him on earth for the Cavaliers to win a championship. He did that in flying colors. Probably the greatest NBA Finals I've ever seen.
And not only that, like he met the hype of.
There is nothing wrong with saying that Jordan is better than LeBron. LeBron is great, and LeBron is a better overall player than Jordan is, but he ain't the GOAT. LeBron had weaknesses that Jordan doesn't. You can't name a weakness Jordan had, except that maybe he's not as tall, but he's only 2 inches shorter than LeBron. Big pause. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. Listen, there's nothing wrong with saying that. Jordan is the GOAT. They call him Black Jesus. They feared him. Nobody fears nobody like LeBron like that. Lakers in 5. Halliburton's pops is crazy. Now, Halliburton, I had to put this in there because Halliburton he's a very underrated player. I remember there was a list earlier this season that they said who's the most overrated players in the league. They had him and Trae Young and somebody else. Trae Young is a little overrated, but not to be in the top 3. I think Kawhi Leonard is way more overrated than that.
He's not overrated because he shows up and play. He
but
shows up every time.
Tyrese Halliburton is not overrated. He's a very, very good player.
Nah, hell no, he's not overrated.
The Kings are stupid. Indiana's smart, and that's what it is. But his pops is crazy. Now I understand this when you see that, and it's your son who you raised, and they call him overrated, and you see him delivering the final shot to win at the buzzer. You know what I'm saying? To eliminate a team and advance to the playoffs. As a father, you're gonna want to have pride or whatever. I get all that, okay? And I get the trash talking. But out of all the people you could have went to, why did you go to the man who literally doesn't say anything to nobody? He doesn't bother anybody. The only person I ever seen him get into a scuffle was Al Horford, and he learned the hard way not to do that again. You know what I'm saying? But this man doesn't trash talk. This man does not get cocky or arrogance or nothing. This man is literally class personified. This man conducts himself with dignity, restraint, and class. He's just grace. Out of all the people you could have went to, and you know what I'm saying, he acted like that was Patrick Beverley he was talking shit to.
I mean,
he went up in his face, this, that, and then waved the Halliburton flag. Bro, that's not Patrick Beverley. That's Giannis. This man did everything he could. It's not like he even had a bad series either. This man has averaged 30 points and 14 rebounds, 6 assists. And that's the guy you want to talk shit to? And he didn't say nothing to you? And you got to put in his face. That's the thing. You went all the way in the court and got into his face. Halliburton, you got to correct your dad. That cannot happen. But Indiana, congratulations. I had picked y'all to win, and I knew y'all were going to win. You guys are a team to be reckoned with. And I hope Cleveland's ready because this is going to be a nice series. The Eastern Conference is set. Brunson's canceled the Pistons. Literally put the defender on skates and hit the game-winning 3. And that was that.
Hold on, I got something to say about that Milwaukee-Indiana series. The thing that you being up 7 with a minute left and
being the Pressure Podcast, we'd be remiss not to smoke some pressure.
I don't that's a fireable offense.
What?
Doc Rivers. You was up at least 7 points with like a minute and a half left, and somehow, some way, Indiana came back and won that game. They didn't win that game with a game-winning shot. They won that game with a layup on a player that we consider one of the best defenders in the NBA. So that right there, that to me is a fireable offense. That can't happen. And then I also have to say this because I feel like Milwaukee gave this game away at the free throw line. They missed 9 free throws. Do you remember the score? It was 119 to 118. That means if you would have hit 2 free throws, game over. Instead of you being up 7, you're up 9 or 10. There's no way they're coming back from that with a minute down. So, yeah, that's inexcusable. That's all I had to say.
Doc Rivers might get fired. I would attempt to hire Mike Malone, but there's no guarantee Greek Freak is going to stay there this next season, so we'll see.
And I also think Damian Lillard was outperformed by even though he played in 2 games, well 1.5. Gary Trent Jr. I thought played incredible.
Yeah. So continuing on with the T-Wolves who eliminated the Lakers rather. Ant-Man is officially the legend killer. This man upset the world, shocked the world, and upset Kevin Durant last year. Outplayed him, and he did the same thing this year with LeBron. Outplayed him, even though he went 0 for 10 from 3, just so you know.
Be cool, nigger.
Meanwhile, Rudy Gobert, like he said, looked like Zion. I said like Prime Shaq, 27 and 24 rebounds. What went wrong for LA? We know what went wrong. It was just 3 guys, and nobody else came to party on a consistent basis. Rudy Hashimura had a good game yesterday, but for the series, he didn't have a good game. Connect 4, where the fuck is he? Jackson Hayes, where the fuck was he?
I don't think AR had any good games, to be honest with you. I know he had like 20 in one of those games, but that was like later on. Minnesota was already cruising through that game. All the other games to me were like 16.
Well, like 17. I said, he still showed up. 16 points a game is not bad in the playoffs. It's just that if you average 20 in the regular season, it is bad. But I even then, I already said that. I'm like, I don't think Alson Reed's going to be averaging 20 points a game, but he's going to show up. You know what I'm saying? But who else is going to show up? We don't know. And I don't see it. I don't see it on the roster. And I called it. I called that shit. That's why when we made our predictions, I said Minnesota. I didn't even think of it. There's no way I see the Lakers beating Minnesota. I don't care who they got. I don't care LeBron and Luka. You could put 27-year-old LeBron and Luka. And Austin Reeves is still not going to be good enough. How many times have we seen LeBron with a great season, great, at the peak of his powers, and with no teammates, he can't do shit? We've seen it way too many times, and you expect this to be different because he just has Luka? Luka's great, but he don't play no defense.
Also want to say that everybody that's talking about that this is Kendrick Perkins or whoever, anybody was talking about this is J.J. Redick's fault. First of all, J.J. Redick's a first-year coach.
J.J. Redick did a phenomenal job.
J.J. Redick inherited Anthony Davis and LeBron James, not Luka and LeBron James. You guys hyped the Luka and LeBron James. If you guys weren't hyping the LeBron James and Luka to go past the first round against Minnesota, then maybe the expectations aren't so high on J.J. Redick. Maybe they're not talking so much shit about J.J. Redick. But I don't think J.J. Redick needs to hang his head at all. Well, he did a phenomenal job.
The thing about it is that J.J. Redick took this team to the 3rd seed. J.J. Redick put this team in a position to advance. J.J. Redick gave this team the best home record they've had since the Kobe days. Okay, they were 31 and 10 in the regular season at home. That's the best record they've had since LeBron's been a Laker.
Lost 2 at home in the playoffs.
Okay,
look at that shit.
So J.J. Redick is not the reason why. All right, the reason why is because you guys have no roster. This is what I've been trying to tell people. With the Knicks, I don't expect the Knicks to win. You know why? They have like I said, the best starting 5, but that other than the Celtics. Nothing after that. You ain't going to win like that. You ain't going to win like that. However, I know the Knicks are going to advance because those starting 5 will show up more than most teams have out there to show up. Like the Lakers only have 3. You see what I'm saying? So let's get to my New York Knicks, who eliminated the Pistons. Brunson's too clutch. This is the cover athlete of today's episode. He's the most clutch player in the league, and there's nothing you can say about it right now. Kid Boo puts Detroit on skate and sends them off to Cabo. 40 points, 4 and 7 versus the Pistons game 6. I'm not shocked by this. Jalen Brunson's already proven to me that he's one of the best scorers in the league, and he's very, very clutch, and he does not mind playing in New York City. Like my friend here says, though, Karl-Anthony Towns has to play better, and I do agree because he averaged 24 points in the game in the regular season. He averaged just 20 points in the playoffs. I need you to move those numbers up. But as long as Bridges and Anunoby show up, we don't need Karl-Anthony Towns to feel the pressure, okay? Because something tells me he's not a New York kind of guy. Even though he's from around the area, I don't think he's comfortable playing there, or maybe he doesn't give a fuck. He's just gonna be him, and sometimes he's gonna show up. Most times he will. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes he ain't gonna be there. But this is the most clutch player in the league. This is the most clutch player in the league. Kid Buu is. Let me tell you something. If it wasn't for Steph Curry, I would say this is the best point guard in the league. And I don't give a fuck what anybody has.
Be cool, nigga.
I don't consider SGA a point guard because he's too tall and he doesn't play like a point guard. He doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Neither does Jalen Brunson for that matter, but Jalen Brunson is actually 6'3". This guy's 6'5" over there, 6'6". To me, he's a shooting guard playing point guard. Meanwhile, this guy's a point guard playing point guard, but he don't play like a point guard. He plays like a small shooting guard, kind of like Steph Curry.
He's definitely a scorer. That's what he is.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson, if he was taller, he'd be a shooting guard for sure.
That's what he is.
For sure.
His mindset is score the ball, be aggressive, stay aggressive. He got so many different moves. I don't see why not. You work so hard on your craft, like a Jalen Brunson. That's who you can become.
Yeah.
Just work your ass off. That's all you gotta do. Work your ass off. I commend him for being such a underrated player at first, and building his stock to the point where now it's undeniable.
Dog man says, nigga, dog man says.
But this is it's just a proud moment for Knicks fans. Not because we advanced. It's just that we're now in a situation where we're used to advancing. You got to understand, for Knicks fans, 20 years of mediocrity. This is not a feeling that we're used to until now. Now because we have Tom Thibodeau, we have a good nucleus, and we got a good GM. The thing is that we just don't have nothing behind them, and that's why we're not going to win no championship. But I am proud of the New York Knicks. I'm proud of who Jalen Brunson is, and thank you for just giving us great memories and great moments in the playoffs, because Knicks fans deserve this. We deserve a ring too, but it's the best we could do for now.
What the fuck?
All right, and then the last topic we're going to talk about here is Game 7. Clippers defeated the Nuggets at home, obviously in LA. But I'm not so sure the Nuggets are done just yet. I've still got the Nuggets winning back at home for Game 7. The reason why is because the Clippers, they only have 3 guys that are actually playing good. It's Harden, Kawhi, and Powell. They have to play like that every single game for them to beat the Nuggets.
I would say,
Especially at
I
home.
would say their center too is playing really good.
Zubac, yes.
So I would say 4, and then they do have experience though. That's the one thing that you can't take, is that they all been
And a
in
good
the
coach, a
playoffs.
championship winning coach.
You know what I'm saying? So
But
I think out of every team, they have the best chance to go and win on the road in Game 7. But I'm gonna go with Denver, just cause I watched this game, and there wasn't nothing that I saw that I was like alarmed about, or anything that they exposed about Denver. That it was just one of those games where James Harden didn't have 11 points, so they got it done. That's all I could take from it. That was the only thing that James Harden had almost 28 points, or 30 points.
This has got to be one of James Harden's best games in playoff history. But the thing, you're right. Zubac is, to me,
the motto of consistency, honestly.
To me, Zubac is the only guy in the Clippers who can say he showed up every single game. But these 3 guys right here, they've got to be on this level to defeat the Nuggets back in the Mile High, and I don't see it happening.
I just don't. I've never seen James Harden rise to the occasion, so why would I got, this is what I get to choose from. A guy who won a championship, who's been there, done that, has championship medal, both of them. And actually, a few of them on Denver. Actually, there's like Gordon, you got Michael Porter Jr. They've all been there. Like, they know what it takes more than James Harden. James Harden ain't never had big moments like that. Not Game 7. You guys tell me. You guys put that in the comments. You tell me.
Yeah.
Never seen it. Unless Kawhi does it, I just don't see it happening.
But what's up with Jokic? He's not the Jokic from Game 5, the last
I feel like
from
Jamal,
Game 4.
I feel like Jamal kind of, you know what I'm saying, like, got his fire back. But you know how sometimes when somebody gets it going, the other guy kind of takes a backseat and it kind of like messes up their rhythm.
Yes.
I think it has a little bit, but Jokic had a pretty good game today. I don't think Jokic had a bad game. Jamal Murray kind of had a bad game, but it wasn't terrible.
Well,
like I said, they only lost by 6 points. That's why I'm not even like alarmed about.
Yeah, but when I say
Yeah.
what's wrong with Jokic, he had, you know what I'm saying, 20-something, 28 points or something like that, but he didn't have a triple-double. He didn't have double-digit rebounds or assists. Then the game before, he had a triple-double, but he only had like 11 points or 13 points or something like that.
Michael Porter also didn't shoot the ball well. A lot of these guys didn't shoot the ball well. So I feel like a lot of that's why he wasn't able to get the assists he wanted. But yeah, that was my only take from that they just didn't shoot the ball that well.
Well, I'm just
They
saying,
were right there.
it's a trend I've been noticing since Game 4. Jokic is not as aggressive as he was in Game 4, and for some reason or another, either his points or his assisting and rebounding is lacking in 2 of the last 3 games.
I'm sure they're doing more to put attention on him instead of Murray or anyone else around the perimeter.
Well, I still got Nuggets winning. I just think they're the better team.
I'm going with the Nuggets too. I
But-
think the Nuggets at home.
It should be very, very, very interesting. I'm going to put money on that one. It should be very interesting. But the Eastern Conference is set. We're just waiting on this Game 7 and get to work. And we're also waiting on the Warriors Houston game. It's in Golden State tomorrow. You think Golden State closes it off? I think so.
I think they have to. I think if they don't, they go back to Houston, they might lose.
Yeah, they can't go back to Houston, but I think they got this. I actually do think that they're going to win tomorrow, and I think they're going to get their mojo. I think the playoff Hemi and Chef, because Chef Curry hasn't, I don't know what happened yesterday. He didn't shoot very much, and the game before, he couldn't get a shot off.
Did you watch the highlights from
I
this?
did, but the highlights didn't show what
Okay,
really
so
happened.
my thing is with I think it was like 5 minutes left. They were only down 14. With 5 minutes left, you could have at least brought them in to me, and see what they could have, if they could have brought the game back. Because they bring the game back, you're putting pressure on the Rockets to make plays. You know what I'm saying? They never been there. They don't know what that is. They don't know what that type of pressure is. Only one guy on that team, Van Vliet, is the only guy who can really get their offense going if they start to fall off offensively. So why not bring in the starters with down 14 and see if you can put some pressure on them? Steve Kerr says no.
You
says,
know who?
Okay, well, let's just go ahead and wait till Golden State plays in
You know who got a crash
England
course on
State.
playing under pressure this playoff?
Detroit.
Cade Cunningham and Beasley and whoever else.
I wouldn't say
was
Beasley.
there.
I think Beasley has been to the playoffs already.
Well, even if he'd been to the playoffs, I seriously doubt he played in a series kind of like this one. This was like every game was close and it went down to the final seconds.
Didn't he play for Milwaukee?
Yeah, but I just don't remember Milwaukee playing a series like this. There were games where they lost and they were blown out, and then the next game they'll just blow them back out. Kind of like the Suns. That Sun series, there was 4 blowouts, 2 on each side. So that's not a close series to me. There's no blowout in this series. This came down to the nitty gritty. There was some missed calls here, missed calls there, blah blah blah. So Detroit, you just earned yourself some battle tested experience. So that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. Believe me, you'd be surprised on what that.
And thank God
materializes
y'all
into
didn't
later.
win, because man, if we would have faced y'all, we would have 4-0'd y'all. I'm sorry, y'all not on our level. Just not. You don't have the shooters. You don't have none of that. Like, I'd rather go against New York because I feel like that's the bigger test, and we need to get ready for a bigger test than what we did with Orlando. Orlando was tough, but this is different. This is a whole different level. This next team got Jalen Brunson, who he says is who we know as the most clutch player in the NBA, and then they have talent all over that starting lineup. So at any given night, any of those guys can give us 30. So I'd rather face that. I want to face that. Get ready for,
Boston and New York.
Get polished.
Boston
so that
and
when
New
we
York.
play Cleveland, we're ready for that. Because that's going to be tough.
You mean the Pacers?
or the Pacers.
Be cool, nigga.
You're right. I still don't have my prediction on that. Though. Don't ask.
We haven't made the prediction.
Yeah,
yet.
don't ask
We're
me.
waiting for it.
It almost seemed like you were gonna ask me. Like, no, don't ask me.
We're gonna have to wait till Saturday because this game is still there, and Saturday.
All the games are Sunday, right?
I don't know. I just know that.
I think the games are Sunday.
I
They put the schedule up already.
I
for
pray
Boston.
it is.
Yeah, they absolutely did. Sunday, I think, the first game.
So today's only Rockets Warriors.
It should say it on your Knicks feed.
No, because we just won, so it doesn't say it yet. Clippers Nuggets is Saturday. Yep. So Saturday night we'll make our predictions for round 2. Unless even if we'll make the predictions as far as we can, because if for some reason the Warriors Rockets go to Game 7, that will also be played Sunday. But the Heat Pacers is the Cavs Pacers.
Oh no, Game 1 is Monday.
Yeah, it's
Game
Sunday.
1 is Monday.
Heat Pacers Cavs is is on Sunday though.
I don't care about their game. I can't wait for this series. I've been wanting this series since last year, bro.
Oh yeah.
Nobody don't understand. Like, they don't know. They don't know because we know.
Yeah, but we
like
did the podcast last year.
Yeah. They don't know. The
Boston
Pacers.
versus New York. It
Remember-
is a 7-game series
What happened last year? The Pacers.
for all the marbles. What happened last year is Jalen Brunson also broke his wrist.
Yup. That hurt a lot.
That killed
Somebody said something funny as hell, and I think it's true. Somebody said Jason Tatum shooting the ball a lot better ever since he hurt his wrist. Like they put something back in the right place.
Yep. So Mikal Bridges, Anunoby,
Oh, he's not lying either.
Karl Anthony Towns. Get ready.
Y'all better get ready. This
Get
is
ready.
Yes. Hey, listen,
'Cause
Jaylen Brown.
you know who I'm not worried about?
Jason Tatum.
You know who
Get
I'm not
ready.
worried about?
This is a battle. This is not going to.
I'm not worried about-
6-7 games. This is
I'm not worried
gonna-
about Jalen Brunson. I'm not worried about Josh Hart. I'm not worried about Deuce McBride, and I'm not worried about Mitch Robinson. I'm just worried about the other 3. Cat, Bridges, and Anunoby. Because Anunoby only proved it once last year, and Cat and
But didn't he get hurt too?
Anunoby also did get hurt.
No,
last
I
year.
think so. I don't think that's one of those things that'll prove it, because I think that he proved it in this series for you, that he can play.
He is proving it in this series, but I need to
big
continue.
games.
I need to continue. I don't need you to disappear on the second round now. All right?
I need you.
Because let me tell you something. DiVincenzo didn't disappear in the second round. Josh Hart didn't disappear in the second round. But Deuce McBride and Mitch Robinson, who barely plays, he's always. You know what? I can't discredit Mitch Robinson. He may miss 90% of the season, but for some reason or another, he's always healthy for the playoffs. That's all we needed for anyway, so that's okay. Because he plays in every playoff that we have. He's played. But it's the regular season. He's never around, bro. That man's never gone. But
Probably does it on purpose.
yeah, but last year we had Hartenstein.
Playoffs.
We don't this year. Last year we had DiVincenzo, and we don't this year. Those are 2 big misses that we're missing.
DiVincenzo's big. DiVincenzo.
Okay.
If you could have found a way to keep DiVincenzo with Karl Anthony Towns, then you guys.
Because to me, Karl Anthony Towns and
Yeah.
Julius Randle cancel out in the regular season, all right? So they just cancel out. But we had nothing to replace DiVincenzo with, and Bridges is better than Precious Achiuwa, and I don't know, he was already there. So we upgraded it.
But Precious is hurt, or is he? They just like DFA'd him.
No, he's good defensively, so we'll bring him up when we need him every once in a while. But he'll only get like 7 minutes max.
I mean DMP. That's what I meant to say. DMP.
We'll only play him like 7 minutes max. But he didn't play in this series.
Gotcha.
We played somebody else. I forgot who it was.
I think you guys will play him this series.
Thibodeau just he looks at the matchups and whatever he's fit. That's what they're gonna play.
I feel like that would probably be Al Horford's matchup or Jason Tatum. Maybe like you put him on Jason Tatum just because of the length.
No, I'm anticipating.
I know you're gonna put Anunoby on him, but I'm just
No.
saying. You don't think so?
They're gonna put Bridges on him.
Bridges.
Yeah,
He's too small. I'd rather put Anunoby. He got more.
Bridges is 6'8".
He's gonna but I'm talking about like skinny.
Oh, that
This
doesn't matter.
guy's like
That doesn't matter.
big.
That doesn't matter.
Anunoby. All right, we gonna see.
because
'Cause
believe
he
me,
was cooking y'all niggas in the regular season too.
yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
But I mean, he cook everybody, so it's not like don't no hard feelings. No hard feelings. This isn't personal. Maybe for you. That's not personal.
No, I seen Bridges up against Kevin Durant. I seen Bridges up against LeBron James. I seen Bridges up against a lot of guys who were bigger and taller than him, and he still did the thing. I think they're gonna put because he's the best defender we got. They're gonna put Bridges on Tatum.
Damn, you think he's the best defender?
He's
I think
the best.
It's Anunoby.
No, Anunoby's very good, but he's not Bridges. Bridges is way quicker. You cannot outspeed Bridges. You can on Anunoby. Now you ain't gonna outmuscle out Anunoby. I'll give you that. You ain't gonna outmuscle him, but if you have quicker feet than him, you could get by. You ain't gonna do that with Bridges.
I guess that's true. We'll see.
But in the post, Anunoby's obviously better. But in the perimeter, it's Bridges. It's not even close to me.
Oh no, but that's what I mean in the post.
Oh, in the post, yeah, but Tatum don't play in the post like you think he does.
He has more lately.
I see him jacking up a lot of shots, and I hope he continues.
You better hope he does.
I hope it continues. No, keep that same energy. I hope it continues. Do not slash the basket and dunk on us.
Okay. All right. You want to be down 30?
Well, in two of those games, we didn't have one. We didn't have Brunson. The other one, we didn't have Cat.
Oh no, but the other game you guys played everybody.
Yeah, but we only got to play 2 games against you
we
out of the 4.
took that one too.
We only got to
It
play.
was what was it? It was Carl Anthony Towns. He had a big game.
Yeah, but Carl Anthony Towns missed the one where Brunson was back, and because of some, I don't know. I think they said it was like family thing or something like that. I don't know.
But the game in New York, you guys had everybody, right?
One of the games in New York.
Okay,
and
so
one of the
that
games
game in
Boston.
New York, Jaylen Brown went out with the injury, and Derek White pretty much finished that game.
Yeah,
Derek White finished the game.
that was
with 6-10.
the third game.
That's what I'm saying. That game was we won. I think it was like by 5 or something like that. It was a close game.
The first time we played each other, you played us when we didn't know each other. We had just got Carl Anthony
Yeah,
Towns
no,
like 2
that was
weeks ago.
that was the first game of
Yeah.
the season. That don't count. That don't count at all. That don't count at all.
And same thing with the Cavs. The Cavs, 2 of the games that we played against the Cavs, one was way early in the season. The other one, neither JB or fucking Cat was there. But the other 2 was fair and square. So it's okay. It's okay. I don't think we're going to beat the Celtics or the Cavs in a 7-game series anyway, right? Because we just don't have the team to do it. Unless somehow, some way you guys fuck it up. That's the only way I see it. Because we're going to fight. We're going to fight. Obviously, we're going to fight and we're going to test you. But I just don't see it happening. But we'll see.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. That's why you play it.
That's why you gotta play.
That's why you play it. 'Cause I'm not only saying that because LeBron had 22 in the fucking half, and I thought he was definitely going to score 7 points, but no, that's not here or there. That's not here or there. He's gone, and I never have to worry about that bum for the rest of the season.
And I'm not just saying that because I had a parlay, and Cat only needed to hit 2 threes, and that's why I'm on his ass.
Why'd you say that?
And that's why I've been on his ass since you came in.
Why didn't you say that earlier? That's all you had to say. That's all you had to say.
That was my bias right there. He
God
was
damn,
like,
you
he was
Cat.
like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like,
God damn, now it makes sense. You damn right.
Because you motherfucking cost me
That's all you had to say.
$30, nigga.
Motherfucker.
Fuck. I would have had $300, bro. 300.
Fucking house cat. If you're going to be a
Son of
cat,
a
be a
bitch.
fucking lion, man.
I just need him to be more aggressive, man. He better be more aggressive in this series. That's all I know. Because that to me is your best chance.
Well,
Is if he comes in averages 25 plus.
he has no choice for 2 reasons. Number 1, because if you don't, we're going to lose. Okay? And number 2, because if we lose, you're no longer just going to Minneapolis, Minnesota.
They're going to be on your ass.
You're in the smack dab in the middle of Manhattan, New York City. Times Square is literally down the street. You're on Broadway. Lights, camera, action. Motherfucker. All those newspapers you see in front of you every time you make a post-game conference, they're gonna get on your ass. So you better get it together, bro. I'm warning you. That's a warning. New York does not play. They will fucking get on you, and you know it.
And like Coco,
You're one of them.
And like Coco said, Boston. I don't think Boston really played that hard in this series.
No.
They're gonna play hard.
No.
This series coming up.
No, they did not.
They know the difference of the competition, so they're like, you know what I'm saying? We could just cruise through this any way possible, and then on to the next. But we know what we're up against.
All we can ask is for no injuries, so we could get a fair and square.
Oh, please!
That's all I
yes,
can ask.
please.
I just want a fair and square deal against.
Because I don't want to hear that shit again, anyways. Because last year people wanted to question how we won.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see that shit again.
Now notice this.
Don't want to.
My Baltimore Ravens couldn't do what my Knicks are doing this year. At least we get to go toe to toe for the 7-year series with the champs. We didn't even get to do that against the champs. We did 2 years ago, but not last season. No, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. The Ravens knows that's not good enough.
Y'all got the bye, right? And then
last year, and we beat Houston, and then we
no,
lost
this year.
No, we beat the.
So you beat two teams.
We beat
right?
the Steelers, and then we lost to the Bills.
Oh, okay. So one team.
Yeah, we lost in the divisional round.
So this would be the equivalent of what New York is right now.
Correct, except we're facing the champions. At least we get a chance.
Yeah,
at least I get a crack at it. Unlike last year, the Pacers killed that shit for us. But like I said, Bryson broke his hand, so by game 7.
It would have been different. Facts. Nah, yeah, this is fun. I can't.
So at least we get a crack at it, and we're healthy right now. That's all I can ask for.
This is popcorn, man. This is gonna be fun.
It's always popcorn with the Knicks. Why the Knicks invented popcorn? Man, let me tell you something. It ain't easy being a Knicks fan. Every single game has to go down to the wire. It can never be. We can never blow nobody out, bro. Even when we blow somebody out, the thing is, they're creeping back, and you're like, oh, well, they're gonna hold it. It's always something popcorn with it.
Wait till you see these highlights.
Yeah.
Because you would have thought these niggas is gonna end up with like 30 on these niggas.
Yeah, it looked like it at one point. But all right, y'all, we'll wrap it up. Appreciate those tuning in. We will be back on Saturday to recap the first round. Hopefully it'll be over by then. And make our predictions for the second round. We will also put the players under pressure. And we will have a random top 5. So we will get there.
Sure.
Not to mention, I will have to be remiss if I didn't say
Cool,
first.
nigga.
We will also probably live streaming during the Canelo fight. Canelo will be fighting this Saturday, and we will definitely be tuning in. So we're not going to kill the schedule just for a fight. We're going to be on live, and we won't be able to show the fight, but you'll be able to hear it on our mic. So let's get to it. This is the Pressure Podcast. It means to perform, react, and duel using strategies in sports under rigorous environments, motherfucker.
Finish him.
The only podcast reviewer has say we could always send you a link if you have a webcam. We can put you on a little screen right here. Hop on the mic and talk your shit.
Give me a hell yeah.
Feel free to leave a like, subscribe, comment. We want to hear your takes. And